Quidnom says this might just be the biggest hermetic alchemical self-own in recorded history.
This is it. This is the one. There's been some pretty major ones before, but I think this is definitely the biggest one in modern history. No doubt about it.
All right. So our last topic of the night, heavy, depressing stuff, Tony. They killed the Robert E. Lee statue from the Unite the Right rally.
They murdered it?
I mean, they already assassinated Robert E. Lee's character. Why not also assassinate his statue?
They took the life from the statue?
It's beautiful. They're melting down the statue, and they're going to turn it into some sort of public art as per Washington Post here. I don't have any faith that the public art will be cool or anything, but
it's going to be so bad. It's going to be fucking brutal. It's never good. It's never fucking good. But hey, it's still way cooler than that.
It's cool that they melted it down. They melted it down and they made video of them melting it down. And so now the right wing is like making the molten face of Robert E. Lee their avatars. They're awesome. Like, I am the statue that's getting heated to 1,000 degrees.
This is me. This is me. I am the molten lava that is the remains of Robert E. Lee's statue.
Like, this is some incredible cope here because they all seem to think that melting the statue is a magical deed that will ensure victory for the right wing.
Oh, like this is like they're like releasing like the Horcrux or something like that, like destroying a Horcrux here.
Horcrux.
Horcrux.
Somebody called it like where is it? Quidnom says this might just be the biggest hermetic alchemical self-own in recorded history.
This is it. This is the one. There's been some pretty major ones before, but I think this is definitely the biggest one in modern history. No doubt about it.
Yeah, I love just like, wow, they really didn't know the alchemical forces they were messing with when they would transmogrified the essence of the statue into living energy or whatever the fuck they're talking about. It's so funny.
They don't even know what they've released. This is gonna be hilarious if you ask me.
Yeah, so like our friend the raw egg nationalist, who I think was also the guy who was like, people selling food in a market is the sign of a civilization dying.
Yeah.
This happened. He says he quote tweeted a fan cam someone made of the dying Robert E. Lee statue with Wagner playing over it. They just they were like, who's the most fascist guy we can find? Okay. Yeah.
When I saw it, I was so confused. I was so confused by what I was watching.
It looks like they're all crying about the mask from The Mask. They're like, no, don't melt it. I could put it on and maybe lead an army of losers to get our asses whipped once again.
Let my dog try. Can my dog try it on?
The dog as a cartoonish little prankster named Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, little goober.
Raw Egg Nationalist shared this fan cam video and said, I've not seen a more powerful video on here in a long time. Remember that greatness cannot be destroyed, only transmuted, because greatness is a fire, and fire is energy, and energy is eternal. And that makes sense to me.
Totally.
All those words, he was right. Because, yes, fire is energy, obviously, and energy is eternal. Again, obvious. Thermodynamics, folks. Look it up. But I love greatness. Greatness cannot be destroyed because greatness is a fire. You're like, totally.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That tracks.
I'm still, listen, I know it might be hopeless, but I'm still holding out that one day we can figure out the technology to put out fires. I hope that I can't, because we live in fire country, and it's terrifying knowing that we can do nothing about these fires.
Bill Smith, whose at is Trump_A_right.
Okay.
So Trump right.
Trump's all right.
Trump right replies, "They awoke the old gods here. Buckle up." Bro,
Like-
America's not that old.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
American
yeah.
slavery is like a very specific point in time, not too long ago.
In the terms of gods, these are like brand new gods. These are like fresh out the box gods.
Yeah. And again, the old gods of what? Like losers who parasocially attach themselves to a guy who died hundreds of years ago and
Yes.
obviously fought for the wrong side in that battle.
Like your ancestors don't give a fuck about Robert E. Lee. If that's what you're trying to evoke, you know, like they don't. You think you're the Vikings you pretend to be related to care about Robert E. Lee?
So many people were like, they wish to defeat it. Now they have immortalized it. It's like that is the best way to immortalize a statue is by getting rid of it.
Yeah, not just like maintaining it.
It was already a statue. That's like the metaphor, the analogy for immortality is being erected as a statue, and they fucking smelted him. Sorry, he got fucked up, man.
That's how you know people don't really care about art. Like David is still a statue. Like that shit should be. I mean, I guess you got to set the stone on fire somehow or something, but it should at least be turned into powder if we really cared about it. Fake fans.
Got it. Why would you want to destroy it if you cared? Oh, to
immortalize it. Yeah,
totally.
Because now all we can do is look at it.
Now they have immortalized it because I saw a weird like weeb fascist incel post a video that probably didn't even make it to TikTok. This is immortal. This is going to be on the internet forever.
Well, it's my profile picture now, so yeah, I'm immortalized. And nothing ever is going to happen again in the future that I'm going to latch onto and make my identity and turn it into my profile picture. So this is immortality.
It's not. This isn't Star Wars, man. If you melt down a statue, it's gone.
Yeah,
there's not a Jedi.
Yeah, I mean the metal, like I said, the metal from it will exist, and hopefully they're going to make cool things, but they're not going to make cool things with it. I need to pay attention to see what they do with it because it's not going to be cool.
Also, wasn't the whole argument that melting down the statue erased history, got rid of history? Now you're saying, oh no, actually, it's good that they did this because of the alchemy.
Maybe we should lean into this. Maybe we should be like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Let's melt them all down.
Yeah, totally. A lot of people were like saying that, like the more like normie MAGA people were like, those who would not learn from history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
And it's like, look at who's above you in these replies. Look at who's below you in these replies. They all want to repeat it.
Yeah. They're a team, dog. Yeah.
They all want to repeat the Confederacy. That's why they like Robert E. Lee. And it's like getting rid of the statue seems only to have emboldened their convictions, not necessarily like their movement. I would say that the Unite the Right rally, probably one of the worst moments for the right-wing movement in modern history. That the January 6th and like Donald Trump himself being elected, in terms of like public perception and even like some of the material responses to it, not great for your movement. Like the Unite the Right Charlottesville rally was fucking awful. Like Donald Trump had to come out and denounce it.
Yeah, it was bad. Not a good look for y'all.
So I don't like this whole thing has been kind of a clusterfuck for you. Like, I don't know. I think like, yeah, a normie position would be like, well, you shouldn't tear down statues because we should learn from it. But if you have a conversation with a normal person for longer than a second, they would be like, well, I guess you can learn stuff from history books too. You don't necessarily need the statue, celebrating them or whatever. But not a lot of people are like of the lost cause political movement anymore. I think that's kind of gone by the wayside. Maybe with this statue melting, the daughters of the Confederacy can get another $20,000 in donations this year or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But I don't. There's an emboldened right-wing movement, to be sure. I'm not saying that they don't represent a threat or they're not a powerful group of people. I mean, these internet posters are not a powerful group of people, but the like elites they claim to despise, who are 99% in lockstep with their right-wing ideology, are, and that's of course like who the real threat is for the vast majority of us. There was a guy in the replies to this Washington Post tweet that was so fucking funny. This guy's name is Thad, and his hat is Giga Thad.
Oh my God.
Giga Chad is a meme if you're not familiar with. He's like an actual Eastern European fitness model who I believe is communist, who I believe is from like a communist state and communist heritage, which is very funny because the right wing has like co-opted this guy to mean like he's the cool one. He's the based guy. And it's because, he has like a 12-pack and like an insane
a wild chin
and like a jaw shaped like a shovel,
Yeah. Now, I wonder if he is doing, if his name really is Thad, or if he's doing the lisp joke about Chad.
I don't think so, because you don't lisp Chad as Thad, I don't think.
No, I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. Yeah.
I think his name is just Thad, which is unfortunate. It's such a bad name because it's so close to one of the best names, Tad, but off by a letter.
Just so close.
Okay. Thad says, literally my ancestor. We carry the Lee name as a first/middle in my family. Cool. So you erect a statue of him. I don't give a fuck about your grandpa, man. Like, why would I ever want a statue of your slaver grandpa?
Yeah, go for it. Put it up in your fucking yard. I don't care. Like, do that.
Also, I love literally my ancestor.
Yeah.
It is like the white guy looking at a fucking picture, an AI generated image of a Viking, and say that's literally me.
Yeah, actually, literally. I good for you.
While I didn't need a directly insulting gesture to, oh my God, dude, shut the fuck up. While I didn't need a directly insulting gesture to tell me that my kind is hated and many seek our extinction, parentheses, the implicit cues were strong enough. I appreciate this image making it absolutely clear.
By your kind, you do mean Confederate soldiers.
And yes.
And like, yes, we do want to get rid of Confederate soldiers. If that's what you're claiming, that's exactly what we mean. Yes.
Well, like, no, if you can be descended from Confederate soldiers and be a totally good person, all you have to do is not post shit like this, not post obvious racist, hyperventilating, replacement theory nonsense. They melted down the statue. That means they're coming after whites.
Yep. It's over.
And it's like,
they made it clear as day.
It's the right wing. It's right wing Zionists and Zionists in general conflating Israel with Jews that these racists do with their fucking slaver statues. They're like, hey, just because, we need to not teach white kids that they're bad for being white just because they might have descended from slaves. That it doesn't mean you're bad just because you descended from slaves. Also, from slavers. Sorry. Also, I like the slavers.
Yeah.
I identify with the people who were the slavers.
It's like, when the whole thing is, when you say my literal ancestor, you're supposed to follow it up with like, and why am I like still taking the heat from that? I don't even know that guy.
Exactly.
That's how you're supposed to follow it up.
Yeah.
It was my great uncle, not me.
They can't pick between white men built this country, I built this country, and I had nothing to do with slavery.
Yeah.
There's got to be one, and it's obviously the latter. It's obviously the latter, but you probably don't have much else going for you in your life. So you're like, wow, did you know that I'm actually Robert E. Lee's fourth generation grandson or whatever? He goes on. For those using this as a chance to try to dunk on me or quote my people. Why are you putting my people in quotes? You're the one who started talking about your people, bro. I and my 56 first cousins are pretty across the board prosperous with families carrying on our line. Well-bred Anglos don't need permission to thrive. It's just kind of our nature.
I don't think this is true, Thad. You're posting on Twitter under the name Gigathad, like with this crazy avatar. I think your great uncle or whatever would be so bummed.
Additionally, I'll have you know I graduated top of my class in the Navy SEALs. This is copy pasta.
Shut up. I graduated top of my class. Oh, cool. You did good in school. In the Navy SEALs.
I think this is copy pasta.
I think you kicked out of the Navy SEALs for posting like this.
I don't want to fall for copy pasta. I'm far too based to not recognize a meme when I see it. Let me just type in here. Yeah, Navy SEALs copy pasta. Yep, I'm trained in guerrilla warfare and I'm the top sniper. Yada yada yada. Okay, so cool meme, dude. You're still pathetic. Like,
you suck. Yeah,
you posted the sniper shit. You posted the cringe. I'll have you know you're disrespecting a soldier thing. You're already fucking cringe posting about being an honorable member of the white race. That's more embarrassing than actually being a fucking Navy sniper or something, dude. Like, you're not, I don't know, you're not fooling anyone with that. But responding to this, who do you think would respond to an obvious white nationalist lamenting the loss of his people and his culture on Twitter? Who do you think would respond to that, Tony?
Probably not like the exact same people.
The owner of the website, Elon.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, the exact same people. There you go.
Replied to this and said they absolutely want your extinction. What, like, there you can't, Elon, you went too far with this one. You can't like play innocent. This isn't like quote tweeting a black crime video and doing a thinky face. This is a little like more than this. This is a guy saying they melted down the Robert E. Lee statue because they want white people's extinction. And Elon is saying, yes, they absolutely want your extinction. So Elon is like openly a great replacement ethno-nationalist guy.
But the best thing about this is the way he phrases it is, yes, he's saying they, as in, you know, the same they that he's talking about, absolutely want your extinction. So he's still saying we're also not quite on the same team. Like, yeah, they do want you gone. They don't necessarily want me gone because I'm a billionaire. I don't know if you knew this. I don't really want. So yes, they do want your extinction, because he should have said R.
This is how they talk to each other. This is how influencers on the right wing they pitch stuff for the reader. So it's like you are in danger. Of course, they mean like all white people because they're assuming everybody reading or watching that is white, you know. He's just taking on like dramatic, melodramatic right-wing race realist rhetoric, and that's how I see it, at least. Because does he mean your like the line of Robert E. Lee? Like, I don't think that's what he means.
No, I'm saying he means like American white people, American white men, Western white men. Because I mean, whether he wants to be or not, he's not quite a Western white man.
And then Thad says it's almost like you're from a place with lessons to teach us.
Oh, is he talking about South Africa and apartheid?
Yeah, of course he is.
I mean, the thing is, he's not wrong. Mm-hmm. I do think that America could use the same type of like confrontation that happened in apartheid about Africa. And also, you know, I think that a lot of people who are alive today should be held accountable for the crimes they've committed against Black America. So yeah, you're right, Thad. But I don't think for the same reasons you're saying that. I think you're saying it for different reasons.
Yeah, he's like, we have a lot to learn about the place you're from, such as the efficacy of tire fire necklaces.
Yeah.
More responses to Elon Musk's tweet. Operum Dare says, literally melting down history. We are bound to repeat it. ... Yeah, because you guys are all threatening to repeat it. You guys want it repeated. I don't like. There's not a lot of mystification here. And then Operum Dare replies to his own tweet: since there is much more demand for angry white supremacists than supply, they're trying to close that gap with such actions. You're replying to an angry white supremacist who owns this website, who says they absolutely want white people's extinction.
Yeah, what?
Like, the top comments are angry white nationalists that you're replying to. I genuinely don't know if this is just because of how stupid they are or if they're playing a game. I mean, the blue check really leaves it up to question.
Yeah.
I do think it's possible a lot of these people do not understand who they're talking to.
Also, are you like a hoarder? Are we supposed to just keep everything ever?
That's a good point. Yeah, everything has you're like my grandma when she didn't want to get rid of like bedding from 50 years ago because that was my little girl's bed set.
Yeah. It's like, no, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go sometimes.
Shout out to Ani, who had to help clean and organize the homes of a couple different hoarders over. No, I should delete that because one of them's her mom. And
you'll not for sure delete it. Yeah,
Karen listens to the show. Yeah, happy birthday, Karen. But I'm not leaving that in either. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Here's blue check stuff. Okay. Here's more evidence that what I was saying might be true. Operum Dare, yeah, said melting down history. We are bound to repeat it. And Rando Calrissian says, or you could read a history book instead of getting all your historical knowledge from statues. And then Operum Dare replies, and you could watch adult videos instead of having sex. Brain emoji. Brain emoji.
Do you think visiting the Robert E. Lee statue is the same as like being in the Civil War as opposed to reading about it? So what is sex to you then? Like you have a sex doll. He's like, no, you have a sex doll.
I think he's like, well, yeah, I have the video of the statue, but that's not good enough. I need to go there and feel what it was like 100 years ago when they erected this statue to scare black people.
Yeah, exactly. I need to feel. It's probably palpable the way the community felt when it was being erected.
You could watch adult videos instead of. Imagine thinking that the history book is the diluted version of the visceral experience of reading 3 words on a plaque for a statue. Man, this is phenomenal blue check brain. And then putting a brain emoji at the end of it, this might be like the best blue check post I've ever seen.
It's also like the pornification of people's minds too. It's like,
yeah, man.
Porn's going to be like watching porn instead of having sex is oftentimes watching Star Wars instead of a historical reenactment of the Civil War. You know, it's like, dude, they don't have yeah, not everyone's going to squirt on you, and also they didn't use lightsabers. You can't equivocate the two. This is so stupid.
Why would I read about history when I can make love to it? Fucking brilliant. I love this shit.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, more like Fash Wave fan art of the destroyed statue. Mac blue check says they will destroy your history, then they will destroy you. Mac, who looks like a cosplayer of some kind, like a red-haired sexy lady cosplayer who could be just totally AI. I didn't click through to her profile. Don't know if she's a real person, but she is verified, so that says something.
So she's actual, but we don't know if she's real, but she's actual.
Yeah, then it's a image of like, Fash Wave stuff, so like, TV distortion, color gradient over the image of, you can barely tell what it is. Like, you can, if you know, like maybe
it looks like the Mars Volta cover.
because the human mind is so adept at recognizing faces, I think you would see the face in this area of the image, but you would just assume it was a product of your mind looking for looking for patterns. It doesn't look like the statue. It just looks like a bunch of fucking junk. Like, it looks like one of those photos that's meant to show what it looks like when you have a stroke. And it says, they will destroy your history, then they will destroy you. Yeah, Robert E. Lee was like, they're not after me, they're after you, but I'm just in the way. Robert E. Lee's statue, I'm the only thing preventing them from coming after you.
Like, and then again, it's particular to this exact thing. What do you think they did to the black people, to the Africans they brought over here? What do you think they did to their history? What, like, where do you think that? Yes, that's exactly how that works. They do erase your history to destroy you, but it's not through a statue. It's not through a statue.
No, they already enslaved them. That's part of the process of destroying the history. Tearing down a statue, one statue, is not destroying history, actually enslaving people. And then then it's like, yeah, of course we don't give them history books.
Yeah, yeah, they first they melt down the statue, then they're gonna stop teaching white kids to read.
Yeah, and the reply says they can try to destroy me. Posted a photo of like a colonial era American soldier holding a flag and firing a little musket, but it's again the Fash Wave thing, and it says your heritage is rebellion. Dude, it's so funny how the next generation of like Revolutionary War reenactors are going to be fucking Pepe's.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's so funny.
They're gonna put them on their gray. They're like on their gray Civil War reenactment, uniforms. Are gonna be little Pepe patches.
I take that back. I don't think they'll leave the house even for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gallery says they transmogrified what was just a statue into a symbol of fire. Rather than a show of strength, it's more like a summoning ritual, melting away old forms to allow that energy to be reformed and resurrected like the phoenix. Kind of a self-own, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's so I love this TikTok, Tumblr witch shit permeating the right wing. Well, they're like, huge L? I think not. Actually, if you'll check the spiritual realm, if you'll go astral project with me for a second, you'll see how powerful we are there.
They're right. I mean, honestly, like the melting of the statue has created an entire, ecosystem of memes. It's being talked about right now on leftist podcast. Like, so therefore, yeah, it's worked. It's worked. We felt
Yeah, I mean, laughter is a positive. Even if you're laughing at that movement, it's still a positive action. Laughter is an energy. It's a
you're
fire.
feeding it.
Yeah. Kind of a cell phone, to be honest.
TBH.
Yeah. And then I think this is a good place to stop. Wilford Bremley's Diabetes says all of the incidents that are leading to the inevitable breaking point are captured in high definition video for future generations to see. Nothing will be left to speculation to be distorted by politically biased historians. And so what he's saying is like, well, when the reckoning comes, when the race war happens, when the white man has finally had enough and rises up, future historians won't be able to deny that was because they were fucking crazy. They were massively brain damaged over a statue.
Yeah. It's going to be the evidence is going to be pretty hard to deny once that time comes.
Yeah, that whatever your fascist, if it happens, your fascist uprising happens or whatever, and then the next 100 years are going to be you denying that there was ever a fascist uprising because it looks bad, because of how fucking bad it looked. Oh yeah, I meant to believe a bunch of white people just lost their minds because of a Robert E. Lee statue.
Sure. Like, I mean, like you said, we talked about this all the time. It is going to be interesting to see how history remembers this stuff.
It's too much stuff to remember. I don't know how history is going to remember all of it.
I mean, when this is all said and done, when we retire, I think it's really important that we do release the Patreon episodes just for like history, just so that so it is documented.
Yeah, if you're a historian, show us your historical members association card, and we'll give you access.
Yeah.
To the Patreon. Yeah. Speaking of the Patreon, what a good way to support the show. Go to patreon.com/Minion Death Cult. Only $5 a month. You help us do this show, and you get 2 bonus episodes every week, including a live stream we do with listeners every Saturday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time called Death Chat 500. Just had a very fun episode in which we talked about we got to see all of, you may have seen the Voldemort Israel tweet where
Yeah.
Israel tweeted out an AI image of Voldemort reacting negatively to the Hamas attack, of cringing and crying about the Hamas attack. Fairly bewildering thing to tweet out on its own. I found the source of that AI image, which was accompanied by several others in which various Disney villains are crying about how bad Hamas is.
Yeah.
So if you want to see all those, yeah, Death Chat 500 from last week.